Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads Mahabharata 132. As you may remember, Vikarna was the only one who defended Draupadi. Only silence greeted his brave words. He wrung his hands together and said, "Well then, I will say what I feel. Draupadi has not been lost. The Kuru prince has no right to call her his slave, since Yudhishthira had no right to use her in the wager." The wise said that there are 4 dangers which beset the path of kings. The first is hunting, the second is addiction to drink, the third is the love of gambling, and the fourth is too much love for the company of women. These 4 threaten to make a man lose his rational thinking. It was so. Even with Yudhishthira, when the gambling fever was on him, he was not responsible for his actions. He did foolish things. When he was challenged, he thought of Draupadi as his next wager. Even that was suggested by Shakuni, and Yudhishthira just agreed to it. But he had no right to use her as the wager, since she is the wife of all 5 of them. Our grandfather's arguments do not hold in that case. Without the consent of his brothers, Yudhishthira played with Draupadi as the wager. She is therefore not a slave. She has not been lost to the Kuru monarch. She's free. Vikarna's words created a sensation. People were surprised by his clear and precise thinking. All of them were convinced now that Draupadi was not a slave. Hridaya was furious with Vikarna. He stood up and said, "Vikarna, you're assuming too much wisdom. All the wise ones here, beginning with Bhishma and Drona and Dhritarashtra, are convinced that Draupadi is a slave. You and your boyish enthusiasm and your mistaken sense of chivalry think that they are all wrong and that you are right, and wiser than all of them. If she's not a slave, if the husbands think she's not a slave, do you think that they would have allowed her to be brought to the court? When she sent word through the servant, it was Yudhishthira himself who asked her to come to the court. You say that it is not right to call her a slave, but there's no need to consider dharma in the case of the Pandavas. They are not righteous. Where have you seen one woman being shared by 5 men? When such unrighteousness has been practiced by these people, I do not think we are wrong in summoning Draupadi to the court of the king. Draupadi is not the modest woman who has never seen the world beyond her apartments. She is a common woman. It will not be embarrassing to her to appear in front of so many men in a court of this kind. You need not be concerned about it. She is a shameless woman. You need not fear that her modesty is outraged by her appearance here. She is a slave just like her lords. Why then, they have no right to even wear the clothes they're wearing. Dushasana, remove the garments of these 5 men and also that of Draupadi, and surrender them to their lawful owner, the prince." Hearing these cruel words of Hridaya, the Pandavas removed their upper clothes and laid them all in a heap. They returned to their places. Dushasana took hold of the upper cloth of the outraged queen and began to remove it forcibly. Draupadi was frantic with dismay. She looked at her husbands one by one. She knew that it was useless to appeal to them. They would do nothing to save her from dishonor. She looked this way and that, hoping for support from someone. No one moved. She said, "I have heard that when a great danger threatens, nothing can help us except complete surrender to the Lord. He will help me." Sadhgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.